Climate change and its devastating impacts are now accelerating faster than ever, according to the UN's new climate report out this month. And yet FEMA's National Flood Insurance Program hasn't changed at all since its inception, but it is about to. Starting in October, the NFIP's insurance pricing will reflect a property's unique flood risk, finally factoring in climate change. As of now, federal flood insurance is based on a property's 1% annual chance of flooding and its elevation. Under the new model, FEMA will also look at the home's replacement cost, whether the risk is rainfall, river, or coastal flooding, and how close the property is to the source of that potential flooding. And most importantly, FEMA will now factor in future catastrophic modeling from climate change, including sea level rise, drought, and wildfires.
It's a complete transformation of the way that we're developing what your risk is for your property and then price it accordingly.
Because as of now, someone in Florida with $1 million home and someone in Montana with a $200,000 home are paying the same rate for insurance, even though their risk is decidedly different. Under the new model, Morstad says rates will go up for some and down for others.
It's just important that we address that inequity, that the lower value homes shouldn't be subsidizing the higher value homes going forward.
Changing that, however, will inevitably change the value of some homes. Matthew Ebay founded First Street, which calculates flood risk scores for every home in America.
So depending on how much that insurance goes up, it's going to correlate perfectly to the value of that home for any new home buyer who comes in and says, this home looks great, but now I have to pay $6,000, $10,000, whatever it might be a year in flood insurance, which is just going to take away from the value of the actual asset itself.
About 30% of the homeowners who buy FEMA flood insurance are not in mandatory FEMA flood zones. They buy it voluntarily, and they may be likely to see the biggest price increases because their homes generally have higher values. All of it is necessary, however, not just for equality in the program, but to keep the program afloat financially. FEMA has been hard hit by the number of disasters hitting areas where homeowners have no flood insurance. Back to you guys.
Do we have any idea how much rates might go up in those areas like Florida, where the prices of the homes are higher and the risk is higher from flood than it is in your example, Montana? Do we have any idea of that? And then I'll come to my second question.
Okay, well, we don't have exact ideas because it's going to depend on each unique home in those areas. But obviously in areas like Florida, you're going to see it go up more. Everybody's flood insurance goes up about 10% every year. So some in lower risk areas will actually see it go down. Some in higher risk areas like Florida could see it go up.
I'm told we don't have time for another follow, so I'll save it for next time. I wanted to ask about fires, but we'll save that for the next time.
But I'm also thinking as well, Tyler, about the massive population shifts to places like Florida. And we've already seen people getting sticker shock who they say, well, New Jersey property taxes are terrible, but they don't realize what they're walking into trying to get insurance, let alone flood insurance for some of the homes down there.
Right.
It's going to be interesting. This is
As the piece showed, that what you spend on that increment reduces the value by a commensurate amount.
6 or 10 grand a year. Yeah. Those are huge numbers.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.